Are we done? Are we there?
We
Have we hit
we
the?
are there. We are
We are
live.
there, right?
Button.
Okay. Welcome, 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 everybody, to this live and exciting presentation that we've got for you tonight. Happy Easter to everybody. It's been our bank holiday weekend over here in the UK, where we've all been stuffing eggs left, right, and centre.
Death.
Oh, I'm suffering.
You're suffering, you're suffering.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. This is a pretty darn good turnout for a Monday night bank
Yeah.
holiday. We've got
I'm
lots and lots
impressed,
of
and
names.
a lot of people we don't know yet. Well, I
Yeah.
haven't spoke to before, which is
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
So
I'm
hey, everybody.
impressed.
Look at all these people.
Welcome.
So we've got Colin, we've got Cora, we've got Dave, we've got Dean, we've got Hazel, Helena. Wow, there's some names here I don't recognise. Kylie's on. So we've got quite a few people that have come in and they've joined
Yeah.
us. We've got some guests from all over the world tonight, so it's great to
Fantastic.
see you. So guys, the chat should be unlocked at the moment, and the questions should also be open. The other thing is that we've now got a Facebook fan page as well for our online Networkers Paradise. So if you guys want to go over to facebook.com/online Networkers Paradise, make sure that you like the page because we could well be interacting over there as well.
How about that?
and
We've got it right in front
We've
of
got
you
it
as well.
there. Boom!
Wow, look
How
at
about
that.
that? That's a do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So, either that or extremely organised. So
Yeah.
tonight we're going to give you 60 minutes of absolute value. So from straight away, I want you to ask you to turn off all your distractions, turn off your cell phones, turn off your email, your Skype, anything that's going to ping or
Senders.
pong at you. Just turn it off. Turn it off. Give us your undivided attention because we have got a fabulous, fabulous hot training tonight for you. So I really want you to stay with us and stay focused for the next 60 minutes because hopefully you're going to be in a really quiet place and you're going to be able to sit down, grab a pen and paper. I'll have a nice cool black currant, but I didn't have any ice cubes, so I stuck some frozen fruit in, which I thought would chink nice.
Yeah,
at
that's
the bottom of the glass.
healthy.
So
You
that was a bit
broke
of
up for me then, and I just thought I just
Yeah.
heard have a nice black currant at the end of it,
Yeah,
which was
me
quite
too.
Yeah.
which was quite cool. So I
Me
missed
too.
the first
So we
bit.
just
Did
need.
I?
What
Well,
was it all
yeah.
It
about?
was Jenkins cider.
Get your guys, get your favourite beverage out. Mine tonight, I've got a nice black currant. I should be on the Merlot, but I'm sure somebody is.
You
But
did enough
anyway,
yesterday.
Not
so
me.
I want you to get yourselves relaxed, get focused, get your pen and paper ready because we are going to be covering a Facebook warm market power strategy tonight. And our trainer, we've got our very, very special trainer who I'll introduce you to in a minute. Powerful thinking equals powerful results, and he's going to be going over that. So it really doesn't matter who you are tonight. It doesn't matter whether you're, in a network marketing company that is well known, not well known. If you're brand new to network marketing, internet marketing, anything like that, we are going to teach you how to cover your Facebook warm market tonight. So let me just first of all introduce myself because I haven't done that yet. My name is Debbie Short and I'm here in London in the UK, and we've had a lovely bank holiday weekend, and as is typical, it's been raining here in London. Let me also introduce to you our panel. Before I introduce our very special trainer for you, let me introduce our panel. Live from Scotland, all the way up in Bonnie, Scotland, where I think he's been doing a bit of gardening, so the sun must have
Yes.
been shining.
Very bonny
Mr.
today.
Angus McEwen. Good evening, Angus.
Hooray!
Good
Welcome,
evening.
Angus.
How are you?
Angus?
Hello.
Hey, good evening, good evening. And then from somewhere in Middle England, I'm not quite sure where,
Middle
in
England.
Middle
Liver
Liver
England,
sausage, you know.
round about the middle, we've got the lovely, I hope she hasn't been frying any Mars bars in chocolate today, because they do funny things in the middle of England, I'm not sure. But anyway, from the lovely liver sausage, or somewhere around about that space, we've got the beautiful Miss Beth Hewitt. Hey, Beth.
Hello. And I don't even know where I am. I know that I'm somewhere in the middle.
You're somewhere in the middle. You're somewhere in the middle. So anyway, our trainer this evening is also from the UK, and he lives, at the moment, he lives in Guildford. But I definitely think that you came from Mars bar frying country, which was up in Birmingham somewhere a
Exactly.
long time ago. So
Yes.
I'd like to welcome you and introduce Mr. Gavin Mountford, who's going to be doing our training tonight. So good evening, Gavin.
Well, thank you very much, and good evening to you and to everybody else. Appreciate that warm welcome.
Well, I've not finished yet because there's something else that I just wanted to cover before we get into your training. So you guys, you're going to have to hang tight. Just gives you the chance to get that all-important pen and paper. So before we dig into that Facebook wall marketing strategy, and my wet pussycat climbs across my desk, just wanted to talk to you guys, because so tonight we're on Online Networkers Paradise. And there's just something that I really wanted to clear up, and that is the subtle difference between what a network marketer is and what an internet network marketer is, and what a very wet cat on your desk also is. Yuck. Yeah, so I just wanted to say to you what the difference. Now, this is my definition of what the difference is before we dig into this Facebook wall marketing power strategy. The difference between network marketers and internet marketers. So if you're a network marketer, you may well be somebody that's in a traditional MLM, which is a multi-level marketing company or a network marketing company that sells a product, something that you can buy. It's usually a very high value product, and you work together by yourself or sometimes with teams of people, and you network with your warm market and friends, etc. But you tend to do network marketing that tends to be offline. The other type of marketing is, to put it sort of in a loose bracket, is internet marketers. Now, internet marketers are usually people that have an affiliation to a product. So that could be something that will train you. Let's say you want to know how to grow bonsai trees, the ever famous bonsai tree, or the ever famous dog training program. So you have an affiliation to that program and you earn commission by promoting that program. Or you could be somebody very, very clever, like our trainer this evening, who actually makes and produces their own products, and they sell those products online. If, like me, you're a bit of a hybrid, this is I like to put myself on a pedestal. If you're like myself and pretty much Gavin, our trainer tonight, and Angus and Beth, we like to consider ourselves as online network marketers. That means that we take our network marketing, and not only do we practice that offline, but we also very much market online. And so that's what really makes us a bit of a hybrid, and that's what Online Networkers Paradise is all about. It's showing you, the network marketer or marketer, how you can actually promote and market your network marketing company online. So I just wanted to really get that clear and let everybody know what we're about and what the difference is. So I've gabbled on for long enough, and I'm sure that you're really excited to be hearing from Gavin, because he's got this great training for us. So Gavin, Facebook wall marketing power strategy.
Yes.
Let's
Absolutely.
go.
Let's rock and roll. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for that wonderful introduction and great explanation of the difference between an online internet marketer and a network marketer, because there is a huge difference. I'm just interested to hear, and if you know how to raise your hand on the webinar, if you're promoting a network marketing company right now, whether it's offline or online, just raise your hand so I know if you're a network marketer or if you're not a network marketer. If you're maybe promoting an affiliate program, I would like to see hopefully a lot of hands raised here, because then I know specifically that you're network marketers and that you probably or possibly came onto the internet to build your network marketing business. And what can often happen, what can often happen with a lot of people when they first get started, and I've been in traditional network marketing for 15 years. First got started offline many years ago, came onto the internet about 11 years ago to build my network marketing business. But what can happen to most people, and what happened to me when I first got online, is I got completely sidetracked. I got distracted, and I started to try to overcomplicate things far too much. And I don't know if you've ever done that before yourself. You know, you get onto the internet, you know you're going to build your network marketing business, but all of a sudden you start to see all these other programs, all these other systems, all these other tools, and you kind of get stuck in amongst all that. And it literally just takes up all your time, and you end up overcomplicating things. And what then happens is anytime you sponsor somebody into your business, if you teach them those skills, it tends to confuse them as well. So if your downline is not growing, if you've got a couple of people in your team and they're internet network marketers, it's probably because they're overcomplicating things far too much. And there are some very, very simple ways to build your network marketing business without getting into all of the internet marketing stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, the internet marketing thing is incredibly powerful once you've started to build your team, once you've started to network with people. Because if you think about it, the world is it's about networking with other people. It's about building relationships. It's about talking to people. It's about getting to know people, and it's about just being real with people. And you know, there's a couple of people that came to me recently and said to me, they said, you know, Gavin, what am I supposed to do now? I've just joined a network marketing company. I've spoken to all my friends and family, and nobody's interested. You know, they've seen that I've done these things before. I've joined other businesses before, and I've told my friends and family about it, and I've exhausted everybody. I have nobody left. And there's several people, and you know, you may be in a similar situation, that you've spoken to all your friends and family just like your upline told you originally. You've exhausted your warm market, and now you're possibly looking to the internet to be able to extend that warm market and reach more people so you can bring more people into your business, but doing it in a simple way. So right now, if you don't already have, I would say, about a team of between 50 to 100 people, I would focus on the basics, focus on what works, what has always worked. If you think about how long network marketing has been around for, and I'm going to show you an incredible skill and a tactic in a few minutes, so make sure you stick around. But if you think about how long network marketing has actually been around for offline, it's worked incredibly well for, I don't know how long, 50, 60, 100 years, maybe even some companies out there from then. What's happened now is, yes, there's the internet, but there's also internet marketing, and people have complicated things too much. Therefore, it's time to kind of step back, come back to basics, and do what you probably do best, and that is to network and build relationships and connect with other people. But once you've exhausted your warm market, you've got to find a way to be able to reach more people. So if I could show you a way that you could leverage Facebook with some incredible skills right now, and if I could show you a way that you may never have seen before, is that something that you'd want to know about? Just so you can extend your warm market, so you can reach a lot more people. Just raise your hand and let me know if that's something you'd like to know about, and then I will go into some more of the strategy.
Hands are going up.
Lots of hands coming up. Fantastic. That's what we like to see. What I'd like to just talk about briefly is something called, well, let me just take a step back for a second before. I just want to kind of frame this first before we go into the actual methods and strategies that I've been using pretty successfully for the last, well, this specific strategy for the last 6 months. You know, I've been using Facebook for many, many years, probably about 7 or 8 years. I noticed Facebook turned, I think it was 10 the other day, wasn't it? Which is pretty impressive. They've been around for that long. Why have they been around for that long? It's because they do what we do best, and that is network with other people. Now, you might want to make a note of this, and this possibly, if you've ever tried to sponsor somebody into your business before, if you've ever tried to sign somebody up that you didn't know, and maybe you've just sent a link to somebody on Facebook and they've kind of just ignored your link. Maybe you've posted it on Facebook, maybe you've sent it through email, and somebody just hasn't got back to you, because that's often what happens. one of the reasons is because people tend to, and this works offline and online, people tend to do business and join people and buy products from people they know, like, and trust. And this is essentially what we've got here, the know, like, and trust factor, the KLT factor. And what I'd like to do is, if you've got your pen and paper there, I'm going to have to do this with my mouse, so it may not be great. My little pen's not working, unfortunately. But I'm just going to draw some, and if you just draw some like concentric circles, I think that's what it's called. Is that what it's called, Angus?
You're drawing.
Oh,
we're impressed.
I'm drawing with a mouse at the moment. Now, normally I've got a little pen that does it better.
Show off.
You'll get the idea. Okay, so we'll go to about this. I don't know how many there are, but what you're going to find is when you first get started on the internet, or even when you first get started in the network marketing business, you've got to start to build relationships and develop. What tends to happen is when you first meet somebody. I mean, I remember when I first started network marketing about 15 years ago. My sponsor was a guy called Paul Newth. I'm pretty sure he won't be on here now because he was definitely a traditional offline network marketer.
You're out there, Paul.
But he may be. I haven't seen him since. But I remember going to B&Q with him the one time, and we've got a shop over here in the UK called B&Q. It's like a hardware store. And he said, watch this. And he was going to go and start talking to people. And he took me into B&Q, and I remember getting to the till to pay at the end, and he just started to strike up a conversation with this probably he must have been about an 18 to 19-year-old boy who obviously didn't like his job, and Paul did his magic, and this guy at the end of it, this little kid, was like, yeah, I'd love to know more about what you do. But it was only because Paul built the relationship with him, and he knew how to do it very quickly, that Paul was then able to give his business card to, and probably, I don't know if he actually followed up later, but he was doing it to show me how easy it was to build relationships with people. But he was just being himself. He wasn't trying to be anything special. He wasn't trying to sell a business to him. Yes, he may have had a kind of a hidden agenda, but he was a networker by heart, and that's what you probably are if you've joined a network marketing business. And that's what we want to be doing more of on the internet, but leveraging the internet to actually do that. Now, what happens when, and if you think about, let's just take Facebook as an example. When you first make friends with somebody on Facebook, they come into, and let me just change the color of my pen for a second. They come into this here. And you end up potentially, I mean, if you look at how many friends you've got, I'd be interested to know. Maybe just type into the chat box, or question, maybe the chat box, how many friends you've actually got on Facebook right now. Have you got 100? Have you got 500? Have you got 1,000? Have you got more? I've been building, and the same with Angus, the same with Debbie, the same with Beth. We've been building our friends for many, many years, and I think I'm close to about 4,000 people now, and that's because I've literally been going out there every single day building relationships with people. But what happens is they come into this first circle, so they don't know you, they don't like you because they don't know you, and they don't trust you. So what tends to happen is, if you try to prospect somebody into a business, or get them into your business, or send them a link, they're not going to join I'd say 95 to 99% of the time, because they're still in this, they don't know you. And that's one of the big problems. Most people try to recruit people and sponsor people from here, from this. What happens is, this little circle right in the middle is your warm market. This is usually your friends and family that know you. Now, what tends to happen is, most people, and you may be similar to this, you may have done this yourself, but when you first join a network marketing business, you're told to, and it's the right thing to do, speak to your friends and family, and see if they'd be interested. And there's special ways to do it. But what tends to happen is, after you've done it a couple of times, if you've been in several different opportunities, I don't know if anyone's typed in how many friends they've got on there yet.
Yeah, we've got, some people have got up to 4,000, a couple of people have got 450. Yeah, there's some people have typed in that, but yeah, Cool.
Awesome.
700 plus. Yeah, we've got some good
Cool.
figures.
So a lot of people you've been networking already, and you've been building relationships. You get out there, and ideally, what you want to do is speak to, and I'll try and write this. You want to speak to about 10 new people per day. And that is easy to do. It takes roughly, if you do it the way that I'm going to show you, it'll take roughly about 30 minutes a day, and just engaging people, but there's no hidden agenda. But what's happened, if I come back to what I was talking about just, what happens here is these people get fed up of you talking to them about an opportunity, and they like roll their eyes, and they're not, I don't know if you've ever had that before with somebody. You speak to a friend or a family that you kind of know, and they just go, oh yeah, he's at it again, show me the money first and then I'll join you.
Yeah, that's quite common.
Yeah, it is. So when people exhaust this, and these people generally, this is where you have to get people, let's say, into this circle. People have to know, like, and trust you before they join your business. So your goal is to bring people from here on the outside gradually through conversation and through posting content on your Facebook page and your profile, and people seeing, and we'll talk about that in another training, but gradually you bring people into the next circle and the next circle and the next circle, until eventually they know you because you've struck up a relationship with them. There's no hidden agenda. You're literally just trying to make friends with people. You're just trying to build that relationship, and people will generally join your business when they're here. So just think about that. Everybody you've got on Facebook, if you've got 500 friends, most of them you've probably connected, so they're probably somewhere about here. You've got to just reach out a little bit more and build that relationship again. So if I was doing it again today. I was going into my Facebook, and I was contacting a few people. I was going back through some of my old friends that I've never really connected with, and just striking a conversation. And said, yeah, I've seen you around. I've seen you doing stuff on Facebook. Great to hear from you. So that person was already kind of about here. So I'm gradually building the relationship and bringing people in. And again, there doesn't have to be a hidden agenda. I think this is, and Debbie, you'll probably agree with this as well, that there doesn't have to be a hidden agenda, and it's possible to just build a relationship with somebody. And what tends to happen, and Angus is a great example of this as well. When an opportunity comes around, when you, let's just imagine that your company was about to do a new promotion, or maybe for some reason you joined another company, or maybe your company was launching in a different country. If you've built the relationships with these people up front and in advance, it's so much easier to go to these people and say, hey, there's a company that I'm with has just launched a new promotion, and I've got an opportunity for a handful of people. Is that something that would be of interest to you? And those people, because they know you, and Angus, I don't know if you just want to just talk for a couple of, I know you did this quite well last year, in fact. Just with regards to speaking to people that you built a great relationship with. And Angus managed to sponsor, I don't know how many it was, but he sponsored a lot of people very quickly as a result of that.
Yeah, just what you're saying, like your circle thing, is true, because you don't like being pitched on Facebook. You don't want somebody just sending you a link, or you get to know, you can smell a pitch coming when someone starts speaking to you. You're like, oh no, they're going to pitch me.
Here it comes, they're warming up.
I know, yeah, but definitely, with me, when it started was when I was in another online training community, and I started going back to the people that I'd been building a relationship up with for the previous 6 months, and just chatting and asking them how they were doing, and then some of them was asking how I was doing, and it became a natural conversation. So yeah, for me, it is all about relationship building.
Yeah, and you're fantastic at doing that, and a lot of people aren't as good at doing that, but it takes a bit of time. And if you can develop and cultivate the relationships now, what tends to happen is you'll find a new opportunity maybe in 6 months' time, and let's say you join an opportunity, or there's a promotion with your company, and you'll go, oh, I wish I knew more people. Well, instead of wishing you knew more people in 6 months, why not do something about it today and go out and build those relationships and cultivate those relationships with people? So that's what I wanted to touch on with regards to the KLT factor, or the know, like, and trust factor. Hopefully you've got a note of that, but just bear that in mind and think about it as you're going back through Facebook, because you are more than likely sitting on a gold mine in Facebook if you've got, let's say, more than 100 friends, because those people are now, or can be very quickly, your warm market. I'm interested to know, I'm just see if I can put everybody's hand down a second. How do you, can you lower everybody's hands?
Yeah, I can do it when their hands are up.
Yeah, thank you very much. I haven't check that, but yeah, so I'm just interested to know who has heard of or who has used Graph Search before on Facebook. Maybe just raise your hand if you've heard of it, and then I'll know roughly who hasn't heard of it and who doesn't know about it and who hasn't got it. So have you heard of, have you used, I think it's called, there's a couple of different ways, Graph Search or Open Graph. Raise your hand, let me just scroll through. Okay, so there's most people, from what I see, haven't, unless for some reason the hands, oh, there we go, a load of people at the bottom, great.
You missed them all, Gavin.
Yeah.
There's only about a sixth of people, less than a sixth of people used it, so there's still a lot who haven't.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Well, I'm gonna show you something now that will. When I saw it, it blew my mind. It really did. The ability that you have with Facebook. Let me just get onto my Facebook now so I can show you. I want to make sure that I'm on the right screen. Okay, let me.
There we go.
Yep, they can see you. We need to close the chat.
Close that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so basically, and it's probably worth you going to Facebook now. And I know Debbie said, stay out of your browser and stay away from things. But this will now be kind of a mini workshop to see, number one, to see if you've got Graph Search, and number two, just so you can play around. You'll probably want to switch back to the browser so you can see what you can see what I'm doing every so often. So if you go to your Facebook, and just at the top here in the search. I'd be interested in if you type into the chat if you've got it in a minute, but just in the search at the top, just type in, let me think, so people who like Network Marketing Pro. Okay, let's just do that first. People who like Network Marketing Pro, and just see if all of this information comes up here. Now, Network Marketing Pro is a big fan page from Eric Worre, which has been around for years, and he's got, there's 376 likes on it, so 376,000 likes. Let me correct myself, because 376 wouldn't be that good.
No.
So essentially, type into the Is it best for the chat or the questions box, Debbie?
It'll be the questions box for them. It'll be the questions box.
Type into the questions box if you've got Graph Search enabled, and if you haven't got it. And then in a few minutes, I'll show you how to enable it if you haven't, because Facebook have rolled this out over time, gradually, bit by bit, and a lot of people haven't got it yet. But let me just show you as I wait for a few people to come through. Let's just imagine that your company was about to open in a new country, and let's just say they were there's a big promotion, everyone's getting excited, and you're like, well, great, I wish I knew how to capitalize on that. I wish I knew how to actually take advantage of it, or even I wish I knew how to find other network marketers in my hometown or my home city or my home country. And with Graph Search, you can actually do that. And what I tend to do is I'll find you can do something similar, but you'll find Graph Search works on queries. And I'll give you, anybody who stays around till the end of this webinar, and I'll give you a link to post. I'll give you some of the queries that you can actually use in Graph Search to find a ton of people. I've got a couple of page documents here. Yeah. So yes, I will give you that as a little cheat sheet, and I'll show you how to get that in a few minutes. But basically, it works with queries, and so you can do it. The way that I do it at the moment is people who like Network Marketing Pro. That would be the fan page. So let's just do that for a second. That's going to show you everybody who likes that fan page, starting with your friends. So you can see already that generally people who like Network Marketing Pro are usually going to be network marketers. However, what you'll find is a lot of people like fan pages just for the sake of liking a fan page. So if they like one fan page, and you've probably done this before, Angus or Beth, or Debbie, you've probably liked a page just because somebody's asked you to like a page. Would you think?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people tend to do that. So you can use this in combination. So people who like Network Marketing Pro and who like, let's just use Diane Hockman as an example, being as though she was the one who brought Online Networkers Paradise to fruition. So people who like Diane Hockman. So now you start to get people that are much more hardcore network marketers.
Oh, look, there's me.
There you are. There's Beth, there's Kylie, there's William, who's on as well. Angus, I don't know where Angus is, but he must be down here somewhere.
I don't like her.
I'm going to tell her.
I don't like her. No.
I'm going to go and tell her.
You best double check. We might find you in a second. But this will go through, because you probably got a lot of friends already that you've forgotten about, that are network marketers that you could go back to about your opportunity and build a relationship with again, and bring them back into the closer circle to you to re-strike up the relationship. But as you scroll down further and further and further, you start to see people that aren't your
There
friends.
he is.
Was he there? Where
Yeah.
was he? Have I gone past him?
I think
I
it
can't
will.
find him.
Sure.
There he is.
Yeah.
There you go.
You do like her. So yeah, as you scroll down, and I've obviously got a lot of people I'm connected with, but eventually you'll get to people that you're not friends with, and I'll show you that bit in a second. But this is where it gets even more powerful, and there's a number of things you can do to find anybody you want to through these searches in any area you want to. So let's say for me, because I live near London in the UK, I want to find people who I want to connect with people who understand network marketing, and I want to find people that have something in common with me that I can talk to, because you probably know that it's much more easier to talk to somebody you've got something in common with.
Yeah.
And if you go to the pub or a restaurant, or if you go to a networking event, all of a sudden you talk to somebody you've never spoken to before, and you find out that you've both got kids, you've both got animals, you both love football. It's much easier to strike up a conversation. So what I'm going to do here, people who like Network Marketing Pro and who like Diane Hockman and who live in London. Now you've got to be a bit careful when you do this, because there's a lot of options here, so make sure you select the right option. I would go with the top option, because this is, you can see here, there's over 5.5 million people like this as a kind of a demographic or a page. So if you do that, now I find everybody who's a network marketer, basically, who knows and likes Diane Hockman and who lives in London in the UK. Now, if your opportunity or your company was opening in a different country, what you could do is go to that country and you could say, and who live in United Kingdom, and who live in India, and who live in a specific part. And again, if I ask you Debbie, Angus, and Beth, if there was a company, and obviously we're not talking about companies on this training, because this is completely generic. Feel free to invite people to this, because these are the kind of things that we're going to be teaching you. But there was a company that launched, I think it was last year, and there's always new companies launching. But I got an absolute ton of people contacting me because I was a network marketer in the UK, and that company was launching in the UK. I don't know if you'd had anything like that.
Just a little bit. Just got slightly deluged when that launch was happening for about 3 months.
Beth, have you had that? People coming to you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does happen a lot. And with Graph Search now, you can do that. You can contact people, you can find people, and you can contact them. So right now, if I go through this list here, there'll be a lot less now. It says fewer than 100 people, and if you can see that in this little box here, you can refine the search here. I'm just interested, actually, before we go any further, who has it and who doesn't have it.
Yeah, there's some people said that the searches weren't showing, Gavin, so I don't think they've got it.
Okay, cool.
So you were going to show us as well later how to get
Definitely.
it
Yeah. So if you haven't got it, stick around and I'll show you how to actually get it enabled on your account, because like usual, Facebook doesn't tell you how to do anything. They just show you what they've got, and then you kind of have to learn how to do it yourself. So what I would do is I would scroll through this list, and as I say, you can start to see here now there's a number of people that I don't know or I'm not connected with yet, but these people are pretty much going to be network marketers if they like Diane Hockman, if they like Network Marketing Pro. Plus also they live in London in the UK, so I've got a lot in common with these people. And I could, I don't know if you've ever tried to do this before, but if you go to message somebody now, often what will happen is it will go into their other folder. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and I'm not entirely sure why, if it's to do with privacy settings, but sometimes it will go in other people's other folder, which means they probably won't see it. I look in my other folder about every 3 or 4 weeks and see things that I probably should have read.
No, I just ignore it.
Yeah, you just ignore them. Because usually it's people that you don't know, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Gavin, are you able to just turn up your volume on your mic just a little bit? Because apparently I'm really loud and you're soft and sultry.
Normal. This is a good reminder, Gavin, because I used this last night after we were talking, and I found a lot of new people just by looking for a particular company. But how I was doing it, I was going down and I was adding people, going and looking, but adding people who had a lot of mutual friends, because for me that was an indication. But I like the way you're showing us that you can put in a few questions. That's good.
Yeah, and
really narrow it down.
What we can do then, Angus, if you want to work with me on this afterwards, what we can do is put together I'm going to send people over a little cheat sheet, but just some of the ideas that you've used that people can use as well. I think that would be very, very valuable. Is that something, just out of interest, is that something that would be of interest to you if we put together? Now, I've got a little cheat sheet already, but if I work with Angus and we come up with just some ideas that you can use, so just raise your hand if you'd like something like that, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of it.
Shooting up.
Oh, awesome. In fact, and actually I've tried to turn my mic up, I'm not sure if it's worked or not, probably not.
Have you got a microphone or a headset on? Because I found last week that my Mac wasn't picking up loudly, and it normally does, but with this webinar I needed to actually plug myself in.
Yeah, I've got a headset and mic, so and it's normally really loud, so yeah, I'm not sure.
It sounds fine here.
Mel says you're very loud.
Oh, Mel says you're loud.
Awesome.
Loud.
Yeah.
Very loud.
Hopefully not too loud for you.
No, I'm probably the loudest.
Yeah, you are.
I turned mine up before I got on. I adjusted my audio settings.
Yeah, I think I did the same, and it sounded like I was quite loud. And anyway, if you go to facebook.com/ whilst you're on Facebook, go to Online Networkers Paradise, facebook.com / and I don't know if there's a way for one of you to type that into the chat so everyone will see that. Facebook.com / Online Networkers Paradise. And then let me just switch my screen sharing back so I can come back to what I was doing. I'm just going to bring up Online Networkers Paradise for a second, so I want to show you something. What we just talked about with regards to the cheat sheet and what Angus was talking about as well, if you go to the top thread that I've posted here, and it says if you were on the Online Network Marketers Facebook Warm Power Strategy webinar today and would like a copy of the Graph Search cheat sheet, leave a quick comment here if you love the training and if it's been beneficial to you, and we'll get it sent over to you, because I need to know who would like a copy of it. So if you go on over and just like that and leave a quick comment, and if you haven't already done so, make sure you like the Online Networkers Paradise fan page, and we'll make sure you get a copy of that. And I'll bring that back up shortly so you can get the link as well. But so essentially what you do is you just run through a few of these people, and what I normally do is I'd find out a little bit more about this person before I connected with her. So Wumi, normally I'll right click on her name so I don't lose this search, and I'll open in a new tab. And what I'll do is I'll just have a quick look through her profile. I'll just see if she's somebody that I would like to connect with. And the great thing with Facebook is that you can spy on most people before you've ever even connected with them. So you get to know everything about that person, or a lot of things that they've put on Facebook before you've ever spoken to them. And to build a relationship, it helps if you can talk to them about something that is something that you've got in common. So I would scroll through her profile, I would have a look at her website, I would click here, go and have a look, and then I would go through, have a look at some of the photos. You can see here Bob. Bob, I think, was on. Bob's there, mutual friend in common, Mavis Nong. And often you'll have a lot of mutual friends. So once you've done that, and I'm probably not, this is more to show you about graph search than actually how to connect with people exactly the right way, and that will probably be another training that we'll do in the near future. But you would then just send a quick message, like a connection message, just talking about something that she knows about. Hey, I've just come across you. It looks like, for me, I'd say it looks like you know Diane Hockman, or you like Diane Hockman, and you also live in London. It's great to connect. So I'd send a quick message to her, and I'd say, hey, Wumi, just noticed that
excellent typing, Gavin. Excellent.
Yes.
This is very interesting, because this would often, I get people who message me and say to me, what's your name? Or they message me and say, where do you live? And you think, or I get lots of females who message me and are looking for my hand in marriage. And I say, well, if you look at my profile, then you will know things about me. Like my name or where I live.
Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
Hello, love. Yeah.
I'm a like-minded individual.
Yes.
Don't ever say that.
Yeah, and different people do things, and many of you on here right now probably get people messaging you, and a number of messages from people that you can see they're completely canned, and often, or even worse, and I'm sure you've all had this, somebody sends you a message without ever getting to know you, and starts to try to send the link to their business in the message straight away, with like about 5 pages of information about the opportunity. And it's like, and you've never ever joined a business like that. So if you do that yourself, have a think about what happens when you get a message like that, and what do? You probably just ignore it, you probably just delete the message, and you just get on with your life. So that's what's going to happen if you send messages like that. So you have to get to know people gradually, and just by reaching out to Wumi, I've never met her before, just noticed we both like Diane Hockman, and you like Diane Hockman page, I'll probably put, and you live in London, just wanted to reach out and connect with you. I might say, how long have you been marketing on the internet for? And I'll switch this message up depending on who I'm talking to, but you can get through this. You can do 10 of these people with, it's taking me a long time now because I'm talking, but I'll quickly send her a message. And some people I've noticed say, if you'd like to connect with me as a friend, send me a quick friend request. Often what I'll do is I'll
Sorry, I hate that. Sorry,
I hate that as well.
I hate that.
Yeah, if you want to be my
friend, send me a friend request. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm the same as well, and I prefer to send people.
Can you keep that screen there for a minute? Can I show you? There's a button to the right of Add Friend that says Follow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I tend to do. Yeah. We're going to talk about how to connect another time, but I personally, and this is my personal thing, like I don't tend to message people first. I hit the follow button. Yep. Because if you hit follow, it means that people will get an indication that you are following them. And I find that out of maybe 10 people that I follow, about maybe one of them will follow me back or send me a message. So I find, if people are not sure what to message or things, that I find that's the way that you're not worrying about, people rejecting you or it going in the wrong box or whatever.
Yes, and that's a great way, and I think that's something that Diane teaches as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so yeah, and you'll find that people will pick up on what you
Mhm.
post because they'll come back and they'll notice who you are. So different people again, and you know, this is the great thing about the internet is there is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Different people, and you can pick up strategies from different people and use different things that work best for you. And I would always say do that. I mean, for me, I guess I've always message people, and that's just the way that I guess that I do things,
Yeah.
just to connect with people, and you know, following people, it works equally as well to get people to come back to you. Let me just show you how to enable.
Well, you're just getting something else done. Debbie Deardos asked a question. She said, do you do the graph searching from your fan page or personal profile?
Very good question. Personally, I do it, and I'm not sure if you can actually do it from your fan page, but you may be able to. But I always do it from my personal profile, because it works. It definitely works that way, but I'm not sure about the other way.
Cool.
And and people were asking how to get it as well. Sorry.
How to get it? Yeah. So I'll show you that now. So if you don't have it enabled, do this now along with me. If you go to your settings, and click on your little arrow here on the top right of your screen. Click on that, go down to where it says settings, and click on the settings button. And then what you'll see here, it'll just pop up with your general account settings. If you go to language here, and just change your language to English US. Now, I'd be interested, I was looking at this earlier, I'd be interested if somebody could tell me what English upside down is, and what English pirate is.
That's from Australia. Kylie Menz does the upside down one.
I like the pirate version because we can.
I mean, what is it? I don't know. So change it to English US, and then save your changes. Refresh your screen and come back to Facebook, and you should, I'm not saying 100% definite it will, because Facebook may change what they've done, but you'll probably will have graph search on there.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
Let's just open up now, because I think I've gone into a fair amount of detail. I know I haven't showed you everything I wanted to, but I will give you the. I mean, Gavin, you can do so much with graph search. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Gavin, while you're in the settings, etc., sometimes people don't have follow activated on their Facebook profiles. Can you show us
can you show me how to do it first? Because I am actually I might not even have follow activated on mine. And I hope that's not the case.
I think if you click on the followers to the left-hand side there.
Followers,
I thought it was,
I think so. It's a long time since I've done it. And then...
Yeah, who can follow me? So it's the very top one.
Okay.
And then you've got your choices up there. So you've just got everybody or friends. So yours is activated.
Good. It's I probably did it a long time ago. But
because see, when you were saying, Gavin, earlier on about the graph search, if I'm using graph search like I did last night, sometimes if I'm maybe doing it in a hurry, you know, and I've not got a lot of time to connect in detail, I'll just go through and follow some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and if I'm going down people and I've not got their follow button switched on, I don't normally communicate with them. That's just a personal thing.
So Gavin, you've just picked up a follower. Look, did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Oh, that's good stuff. So
you know,
yeah,
I don't tend to follow people. I don't message people or add them as a friend first.
So basically, would you do this? So you go through here
I'd
now.
Go
you
through
click
there,
on follow.
and then I'd look at that. I'd see they've got 93 mutual friends, including Jackson, Debbie. So if I had time, I'd go in and look at their profile. If I wanted to meet people before I went to bed, I would just click follow.
Awesome. That's a really fast way of doing it, isn't it?
That's what I do, because, yeah, you know, if you're decided you're going to meet 10 people.
It's less invasive, and then you can see in your timeline what they're up to, or you should be able to see in your timeline what they're up to, and then you can start to comment on the things that they're doing and start to build that engagement. With people, because it's all about the engagement, and like you say, bringing that concentric circle, that outside circle, and bringing it in and in and in until you've got that great relationship. You've built that. You know, there's quite a few people on the webinar tonight that most of us know, and you know, they might be not necessarily bang in the center of our concentric circles of friendship, but maybe just one circle out even, and then there's some other people, there's names that we recognize, and they might be 2 or 3 circles out, and we can start to engage with those people if we can see what they're doing on their timelines and it's coming into ours.
So sorry.
I was going to say, Debbie, you're absolutely right, because we try, I mean, contacting 10 people and messaging them every day can be quite time consuming, but it just, connecting just necessarily means just liking something that they do, or just leaving a comment on something, or just letting people know that you're there in the background, kind of thing.
That was a revelation for me, you know, to do with, if you're working, sometimes you're trying to fit everything around it. And I remember, I mean, you didn't teach us, Gavin, I'm not saying that, but so I remember that, you know, I used to initially think it meant add 10 friends a day. It doesn't, it just means communicate with people. So you've got
no underlying agenda other than that you are looking to expand your circles of influence in a subtle way.
And if you've done that, if you've followed them, later on when you've got more time, like the way Gavin was showing us there, you can then go in and find your followers, and you can start going in and maybe message them if you want, you know, or you can start liking their stuff, because if someone follows you, or maybe if you follow them as well, you can go in and comment on their stuff.
I think the other big thing as well is to go back through some of your existing contacts as well that you're already connected to, because you know I went through I've got a launch, something that I'm working on, and I'm going back through and I'm talking to a number of people, but I'm actually going back through they're kind of warm market already. They're people that know me, but I've never really spoke to them before. And I literally just opened the dialogue, and a couple of people came back today and they says, I know you, I've seen you around, and I look at some of your stuff, and it's quite funny, and you probably get this as well, that oftentimes you won't even realize that people are watching you and they're listening to you and they're following your trainings because they don't comment or they don't like stuff, but there's still a ton of people in the background that are actually doing that and watching. So you're sitting on a gold mine with if you've got, I would say, over a couple of 100 people on your as friends.
And if you then go and if you click on your friends, because Tina, I think it was asking, how do you know who's following you? If you click on your friends, then it will show you there's different tabs, all friends recently added, followers, and who's following you. I've actually, now if you ask me, Gavin, about friends, I've got 1,700 friends. I've got 3,600 people following me.
Awesome.
And that is scary, like I never realised that.
I'm
following 600. So, you know, that's quite an eye-opener for people if you actually go in and look at, like, these people who are following me, I could take 10 of these people a day and just go in and start, you know, doing the stuff that we're talking about. That would take me forever.
Yeah. Fantastic. Has anybody got any questions that you wanted clarified? I can see there's a ton of messages in here. William, let me just have a quick look. Yeah, that's a good question William posted there. Do you want to read that one
out? William's message?
Yeah, if you follow.
Is it in...
it's in the question.
Okay, so here we go. So if you follow people, does this not mean that you will see everything they post to their page? I have just cleared a lot of friends away from my page because all they done was post links, and I felt this was detrimental for my brand. But by removing them from my wall, updates faster, and is now cleaner, and I'm getting more interaction. Yeah, I think with what you're saying, William, perhaps the people that you were friending initially were not necessarily the right target market as such for you. They weren't the right type of friends. You didn't have mutual interests as such, you know, on a business perspective. What would you say about that, Gavin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was actually just looking at the comments, so you'd have to repeat what your question to me because I misheard the last part. I was looking at all the comments that everyone's left, and I'll show you them in a second.
Okay.
Shall I answer that, Debbie?
You answer that one, Beth. Go for it.
I would say that it's actually a positive thing, using the follow button, because then, like William, you've noticed, you can kind of sort through the ones that are going to be a beneficial relationship to you. So using the follow button in that way, you'll pick up more people, people interested in you and vice versa. But then you can, like you say, get rid of them. So it's probably easier than just adding people as friends or them adding you as friends, because it's that sifting mechanism.
And if you go in, I've just gone into some people who I'm following, and you can switch your notifications on and off if you want notifications. So I believe, because I've just tested a few, it looks like the people who I'm following, I'm not getting notifications or switched off. But that's something you can check and investigate, Molly, and see.
Yeah. That's in the settings.
I see a question from Angela, says, does Graph Search work on the iPhone? I don't think so. I've never used it on the iPhone before.
It doesn't work yet on the Facebook app. I'm just about to go and check and log on in Safari and see if it works there.
Awesome. And Barry says, I have Graph Search and my language is set to English UK.
So I'm just laughing at the last comment. Yeah. Sorry, Barry, I wasn't laughing at your question.
Yeah, so it must work with different languages: English, UK, English, US.
Margaret.
So Margaret's asked this question. We have to, Margaret. Now you've asked it, we've got to share it publicly. So it says about if you've made a graph connection and you've vomited all over them already. How do you save this relationship?
That's a good question.
Delicately, I would say, Margaret, and take the tissues with you, or the Kleenex, whatever it is.
Start as you mean to go on. So I say, just draw a line over it and under it, and just pretend it wasn't you. Pretend you were just having a bad time.
It was your alter ego.
Yeah, you were. What's the word? You were hacked.
Yeah. You know what? Any relationship can genuinely be saved. There's a guy that I chat to. I don't think he's on the webinar tonight, but we started off. We had a very kind of turmoil type of relationship, and he would message me, and he was very angry about this, that, and the other, or something I'd said, and da 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 da, and I'd be like, not quite understanding. And this went on for about 6-8 months, and now this guy, something snapped, something happened, I said something differently, and now this guy absolutely loves
you,
loves me. He's a fantastic guy, he's a great marketer, but it just started off on the wrong foot.
And that's how Debbie and Angus
we hated each
other. His name was not
I used to be scared to death.
Hey, look at my notifications on my screen. 111.
Oh gosh.
Oh, no.
Sorry, people get so frustrated and annoyed with me sometimes, and sometimes other people love it, because I always seem to see 11s, 11, 11, and all ones all the time, and I notice them quite frequently. My little sister's like, will you just be quiet about it, stop talking about it? And other people are sending me things.
At least it's not 666.
Yes.
If I started seeing that, I'd be a bit concerned.
Yeah, Barry, I've just gone back to UK English and I've got Graph Search now, but I know that it was being rolled out, like countries at a time, but also profiles at a time. So what Gavin's shown us definitely works if you don't have it. Obviously we love our American friends, but they did get it first. So if you do switch to English US, you definitely will get it.
I've just noticed. Noticed a message from David Dodd. It might be worth it. I just want to cover something very quickly, and then we'll wrap up. And then if one of you wants to maybe reply to that, or what we might do is we might actually turn your question into a training that we'll do in the very near future. But next week we've got an incredible training for you. So make sure you're on about how to tell your story on the internet, and when you're able to do that in such a way that it just gets people, because people want to know who you are as a person. They want to be able to connect with you. No longer a kind of a facade or some kind of standoffish type person. You become a real life person with feelings, with thoughts, with family, with hobbies. When there's a way to actually tell that story in the right way and use the internet to do it, you'll find a lot more people will follow you and listen to you and pay attention to you. So make sure you come on to that next week. We'll put out the event details. Basically, if you're registered for this week already, then you're already registered for next week. But feel free to we're doing this training. It's generic training, meaning we're not going to talk about companies. We're not going to promote something. We're not going to sell something. We're not going to mention names of opportunities, etc. This is for you to teach you these skills. Some of the skills that we've learned over, for me over the last 15 years, and for the others, probably, well, I don't know, however long, a long period of time. So we've got a lot of experience, but there's going to be guest trainers coming on each week to teach you some of those skills. So feel free to invite your downline, invite your friends along to these webinars. I don't know if anyone wanted to answer that question from David at all before we wrap up.
I was going to say
I'm just answering it now.
All right, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Go, Beth, go.
Go, go.
Go, Betty, go.
Go, Betty Boo. Are you typing an answer, do you mean, Beth?
Sorry, I'm typing the answer. Sorry.
Oh, you're typing the answer, right. Okay, we thought you was going to share with all of us.
I know.
What were you going to say, Angus?
I can do that.
I was going to say, that it's one of these things, there's no right or wrong answers. It's what feels good for you. You're not... I mean, I can't stand it if I go into someone's profile and it's just full of links. And as Gavin said, you're wanting people definitely get to know me and definitely get to know all of us by looking at our profiles. But it's how you market. Some people market through their fan page. Diane Hawkman, who is our mentor, who we all follow and love, she very much is, she does it through usually her personal profile, but it's finding out what works for you. What did Beth say in her reply? I can't see.
I just put that there isn't a formula as such, which I think is what you just said, but it's just about engaging, sharing content that's interesting, and then no one is going to get annoyed if you just throw a network marketing link out there every once in a while. Some people will get cross and they might tell you, but you know what? You can't please everybody all of the time. So as long as you're doing some good engaging stuff, then feel free to share your messages.
And we will show you in future trainings, we'll be showing you different ways, with pictures and things. It's not just spewing links all over the place in a way that hopefully gets more interesting links and things. So.
Awesome, great stuff.
And just to say as well, for next week, for the online storytelling that we're going to show you, if anybody is in a network marketing company that has a product that you're not allowed as such to make medical claims. You're not allowed to say that this particular cream, this particular face pack, whatever is going to do XYZ to you. Then we can show you how you can package your particular product, your particular business, so that it, all of that kind of resistance just magically disappears. Absolutely magically.
How cool
disappears.
Is that? That is training to definitely come to.
Yeah,
definitely. Very, very cool.
All right. Well, make sure you go to facebook.com/online networkers paradise, and at the top, I'll just show you and then we'll wrap up. I've already seen about 15 comments. At the top here, powerful thinking, powerful results. Just follow that. If you want a copy of the cheat sheet for tonight, so you can use Graph Search a bit better, just leave a quick comment and make sure you like Online Networkers Paradise page, and we'll make sure you get a copy of that within the next couple of days. So I just want to say a huge thank you to our wonderful panel for being on tonight. We're going to have an incredible training next week, and thank you to everybody for being here and being on. I know it's Easter Monday or Bank Holiday Monday, certainly in the UK, so we've had an incredible turnout. And I'm so grateful for you to being here and to basically to investing in your education. And by being here, but keep things simple. Your team will only duplicate when you keep things simple, and probably in 3 to 6 months, maybe a year, you'll realize that. But I'd like you to realize it sooner than later. So thanks again.
And thank you very much, Gavin. That was great and really easy to follow.
Awesome. Great. Fantastic. All right. I'll stop recording. See if we can get you a recording of that if necessary, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.